Welcome to today's episode on Reality and You, and our focus today is laughter as a remedy to high blood pressure. Coming from Television Nigeria, I'm Hetty Justice. Let's go on a quick break. We'll meet you right back. Stay tuned.
See, they go. More to climb the leg. You don't notice I not feel them at all. Tell us, say, must they continue or you want to give my 1,000? That you want that. Crazy people, that crazy people.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, we are still on Reality and View, and the topic today is laughter as a remedy to high blood pressure. Hereover, I have a guest in the house today, and he is no other person but Comrade Dan Atai. You're welcome.
Thank you, Hetty.
So, Mr. Dan, nice having you around.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So, from our focus today, laughter as a remedy to high blood pressure. What do you have to say over high blood pressure?
Yeah, it's a medical term, and by virtue of our little education, we know what is high blood pressure.
Okay.
A situation where the heart has to be pressured to pump excess blood. It means that there is an excess blood in the bloodstream.
Okay.
The function of the heart is to pump blood.
Okay.
And it is also the duty of the streams, talking about the veins, to circulate the blood around your system. So if they say high blood pressure, it then means that the frequency at which the heart pumps is higher than usual. And there are factors leading to that. It means if excess blood is in circulation already, the heart keeps pumping more. So there will be a kind of pressure difference between the circulation system and then the heart, the rate of pumping from the heart. So we say pressure. Pressure, from simple physics definition, is a kind of excess volume, a force applied to give excess volume of a liquid content. It could also be air. It could be any liquid at all. So in this case, we assume that the blood is a liquid substance in your system, and
Sure.
makes you live. And the system, like all the body organs and what have you, they require the blood to function to live. So it is the duty of the heart. The heart is that organ that pumps the blood. And as the blood is in excess circulation, you can imagine it returns back to the heart. You understand?
Yeah.
And the process of returning back to the heart never stops pumping more blood. It is referred to as high blood pressure.
Okay.
Other medical factors and the physical factors, emotional factors could be related to what is called high blood pressure.
Okay. Thanks for that wonderful explanation. So, what do you think that leads to this high blood pressure?
I could take it from three perspectives.
Okay.
First of all, the medical perspective,
Okay.
especially for someone who is probably having a heart failure.
All right.
Heart failure. If you have heart failure, it means the muscles within the heart will not be able to will pump blood or in excess.
Okay.
So there will be a kind of excess blood coming out from the heart but not being circulated.
Okay.
That is if you have heart failure. And another factor, apart from another medical factor that can cause high blood pressure is improper food balance.
Okay.
So if your food is not balanced, for instance, if you are somebody that takes excess meat and excess fatty food, what fatty food does in our system is that they tend to deposit some kind of what we call a lipase. Lipase is an oil substance that is very difficult to melt down during digestive processes. In that case, some little particles or substance of the lipase could be deposited in the bloodstream, And once it is deposited in the bloodstream, the rate of flow will be difficult. Just like you have a channel of water and then you bring a heavy stone or rock to block it. You understand?
Yes.
So if the stream is blocked by fat, any kind of fat, you understand?
Yeah.
The blood, the rate of flow of the blood might not, be proper. It will not go in the same motion and the same frequency. It could cause pressure there, and then you will understand that such person will be a kind of getting excess fat, obesity. You understand?
Yeah.
Food. Another, the third factor. I mean, I've talking about food. I've talking about medical factor in terms of ailment.
Okay.
Talk about food improper. Food
balanced
intake.
diet.
That is people that don't take balanced diet, and especially people whose food are full of cholesterol.
Yeah.
Cholesterol is not too good to our system.
Okay.
It can cause high blood pressure. It could block the arteries. It could also block the veins, and then you have blood returning to the heart instead of blood flowing across, to circulate.
Yeah.
So that it could cause it. Then the third factor is, of course, the emotional factor. That is the physical factor now.
Yeah.
Under the physical factor, we have the emotional factor.
Yes.
Emotional factor could deal with, the system has a tendency to react with both emotion and to also react to food and to react to ailment.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about emotion, it is your inner well-being. It has nothing to do with your system per se, but it has a little to do with the heart.
Okay.
It also has a little to do with the five senses. When I talk about the five senses, the brain, the eyes, the nose, the ears, the mouth, you understand? So if your five senses being coordinated by the brain is having one factor militating against, especially that of the heart.
Yes.
That of the heart. Anything that makes you tends to have hypertension.
Yes.
Hypertension. Anything that makes you have tension, it has to do with your emotions.
Yeah.
So, and if you're having constant tension, probably like debt, probably like love affairs. Of course, when you have a...
Whoa, that reminds me, please, sorry to interrupt you. When you talk about love, I also heard that someone killed himself as a result that his girlfriend said no to him and he killed himself. He committed suicide.
Yeah.
So, is it the high blood pressure that made him to do that, or maybe, is it stress?
Yeah.
Because you're actually coming from that love aspect.
Yeah, the emotional aspect of life can affect virtually anything. Can make someone even go crazy.
Really?
Because like I said, it has to do with the five senses. At least we did little of biological and chemical sciences, and we know that if you are emotionally tensed and especially starved when it comes to love affairs, love has to do. It comes from the heart, and it also comes from the heart. Controls your physical emotion alongside your brain.
Wow.
And if you are tensed in the brain, definitely you will be tensed in the heart. You will have tension, and once you have tension, the rate at which the heart beats will increase. You understand? Just like you carrying out exercise in the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe you wake up, your body systems, your cells seems to be kind of weak, and you see yourself dull. But the moment maybe you take your spiritual exercise, which is prayer, you decide to go into the physical exercise. By the time you do press up or you jog a little, all your body cells wakes up.
You'll be relieved.
You'll be relieved. Then the rate at which the heart pumps blood increases. Its frequency, not negative one, because in this time the body system have been exercised such that the flow of the blood through the veins can be properly circulated. So if a woman or a man is much in love, talking about the emotional aspect with someone who could say no to you in the long run, it has the capacity to give you hypertension. And but I won't kill myself as a person.
Really?
I won't commit suicide.
Okay.
And I will take another form of remedy. We take on other forms
Okay,
of remedy.
excuse me. Tell our viewers now that if a woman disappoints you on your own, you won't be able to commit suicide.
I will just
And what
laugh.
are your reasons?
First of all, I will I will relieve myself. There is this internal stress, anti-stress mechanism that God put in us.
Okay.
One of it is your topic today,
Okay.
laughter. Sometimes you could just laugh over certain things that distract your
Attention.
emotion or physical well-being, and you just laugh. And once you laugh, it means your body system, once you laugh, and you seems to laugh takes about just 26 muscles to laugh or to smile.
Okay.
And your systems will come in conformity to overcome that particular stress.
Okay. Give our viewers reasons why suicide do not end problems.
Of course, like I said, suicide cannot end problems. Suicide can only take you to hell.
Wow, that's a nice one.
Because God didn't create you, and if you think God didn't create you, if you came out of biological, what do they call it, from ape, or you metamorphosed to become human, I think you are human in progress.
Okay.
And you should be progressive.
Yes.
And whether you came from any origin, you have a destination to attain. You don't take
Yeah.
your life. If you take your life, it means you alter the process of nature, and you also alter the process of spiritism.
Okay.
Yeah. So whether you are going to the great beyond, or you are going to end up here in the world, even though you are not in the physical, you have altered the law of nature.
Wow. Nice one. So apart from laughter as a remedy to high blood pressure today, what other things do you think a BP patient should do to keep himself healthy?
Of course, one like I said, physical factor, exercise. I also talk about nutrition factor, talking about a good balanced diet. You take excess water, not at night, in the morning, at noon, and not cold water. Not cold water. Abstain from cold water.
Okay.
And because cold water has the ability to even stop the heart from functioning, especially when the temperature is high. You can take room temperature water to drink and avoid excess gas.
Okay.
Most liquid contents that we take are gaseous in nature, and sometimes the carbon monoxide is high, is in excess. It was added for preservative aim, but sometimes it's in excess, and if you must take gas, ensure that when you uncork the gaseous liquid, allow it to escape with a minimum velocity. It has to escape. The liquid has to escape for a while, then you can now consume it. You don't just cork the drink and start taking the gas. It could have side effects in your system, especially giving you pressure, because gas, the motion of gas, of course, the movement of gas could be either diffuse under diffusion, or of course you know how gaseous molecules react in the system. Then I talk about the ailment factor. You've talked about a BP patient now. A BP patient knows that he or she is a BP patient already. So in that regard, you involve or engage yourselves in things that makes you, keep calm. Activities, especially that makes you happy.
Okay.
Activities that will not give you much worries, and you wouldn't have to think about a lot of things.
Okay.
Because excess thinking, I'm talking about negative thinking now, not creative thinking.
Okay.
The brain has the ability to channel your thinking faculty into positive or negative, thinking. So you choose the positive ones.
Yeah, that reminds me, Mr. Dan. I also noticed, and due to the research I have done so far, that young guys do not have
Time to laugh.
no, they have time to laugh, but the population of those who have high blood pressure is much than those who do not have. I mean, men have it. Our young men do not have high blood pressure like the older people do, or maybe let me say it like the married men. So could it be that there's a stress coming from their wives, or I don't know?
Of course.
So you can tell us from your own experience.
The young men don't have, and the married men tends to have much high blood
Blood
pressure. Of course,
pressure.
factors like family problem and family issues. Of course, issues come, but it's the ability of a man to absorb and then, take charge of that problem makes him a man. Like I know, any problem whatsoever that wants to give you high blood pressure, it is better you do away with such problem. If in a family you have children, you have a wife, and factors like money, financial factor, you also have emotional factor again, because women tends to need more time than men, and men are actually engaged in their day-to-day activities to bring, to win bread home for the family. Some women don't understand this factor. Sometimes you're outside, your woman might be thinking you've gone to chase, and probably you've gone after other girls, be calling you, troubling you while you are working, and when you come home, you have to engage another judicial panel at home to defend yourself that you're actually coming from your job place and so on. And after that is done, the woman might still tell you there's no food at home, you didn't drop anything, or what you have dropped, there's no money. And if you are somebody who don't have that tenacity to withstand stress, you will be bugged already. Perhaps you haven't taken your bath, and you've not even prepared to take your dinner, and you've been greeted with a series of queries and trouble. So it tends to affect you emotionally, and it will also give you hypertension. It has the ability to give you hypertension, and that is why it is proper for married men especially to regularly check their BPs. And the level of your BP should not go beyond 120/80 or 130/90, so that you know that you are normal, your heart is kicking normal. Because if the heart fails, there is that tendency that it could affect the kidney, especially if a married man out of stress go drinking, smoking. It tends the ability to not only affect the heart anymore, it can affect the kidney and probably the lungs. And then when these vital organs, who they are at one place at the thoracic cavity, so when they begin to malfunction, you could apart from heart problem, you could develop kidney problem. You could also develop a lung problem. You understand?
Okay.
So it is proper for women to understand the state of their husbands, and the husbands too to understand the state of their women. There should be this mutual communication about everything.
And mutual understanding.
Not just understanding, communication. Yes, understanding will come after the communication.
Yeah.
But some men absorb their problems from their women, and when you absorb your problem from your women, you don't tend to share it with her. She will keep giving you a problem. If you pretend to your wife that you are rich, you have money all the time, and you are not, and she keeps requesting for one financial issues that finance could solve, and you are not meeting up, it tends to give you hypertension. You look at her as problematic, and it could make you tense. That is another factor. But if you are somebody that communicates your issues with your wife, say, look, honey, in fact, we don't have money. We can laugh over it, but we have love. You understand? What matters is love. Money will come later, and I am fighting towards something.
Okay, hold on. You said what matters is love. And in a situation whereby you said what matters is love, and a woman said, are we going to die eating love? So what about that issue?
I will
problem?
first of all laugh. I will give myself the therapy of laughter. I will laugh over it, and because women tend to, of course, have this low membrane, they have low membrane, and they don't think far. So God didn't I could say that God didn't create us equal.
Yes.
But somehow people say we are equal in nature. But you see, by the time you study the human, anatomy, and from experts who have done psychology, they will tell you that man has the ability to withstand stress and issues that could lead to stress more than women. And because their brain thinks, very shallow, that is why they are easily convinced by anything, anybody. So if you don't eat love, why do you get married in the first place?
Hello.
Love leads you to marry.
Comrade
Love
Dan,
also
let's not
leads
go
you
into
to-
that now, because actually the focus today is laughter as a remedy to high blood pressure.
Yeah.
So we talked about going for exercise and going to a fun-filled environment as well.
Yeah,
so
serene
let us
environment.
also let some of our viewers who are a high blood pressure patients know the kind of environment they should find themselves to make themselves happy as well. So when it comes to the game aspect of it, what kind of game do you think someone who is
BP patient?
a BP patient should go for that will relieve him of stress? Like what kind of game?
All right, there are a lot of games, especially, first of all, if you're somebody who is not incapacitated, that you cannot move, if you're somebody that cannot move, maybe perhaps you're on wheelchair, and in your room, you could do little exercise. Exercise like trying to boil. You can even boil water by yourself, go towards the gas, boil water, take warm water in the morning if you are such a patient.
Okay.
It is good you drink warm water instead of cold water. You go to the refrigerator in the morning to pick water to drink. It could be detrimental to your health.
Okay.
So you, first of all, get warm water, or it could be warm liquid, it could be warm tea, it could be warm Lipton, but make sure it is warm in the first place. And then the heart will come alive. It will also energize the kidney, and then you begin to feel a little bit heat, sweat start coming out of your body. Then indoor, you can do little stretch because you will not remain in the wheelchair. I'm talking about somebody who is incapable of moving. If you lie down, you can try to move your muscles, because your muscles must not be stiffed. You could move your muscles on the bed. Give yourself, I'll move my muscle 10 times like this, or 20 times like this. And you move my muscle like this 10 times or 20 times. It counts, it helps, because they have been relaxed. And once they are in relaxed mode, the cells that controls that aspect of your body will also be in relaxed mode. So that little exercise could energize the cells to come back alive. That is one aspect. But for those who are able to move, who are capable of moving, you can go to the field, jog a little. But before you jog, ensure that you stretch your body, stretch your legs. You stretch your legs, stretch your arms, such that your body vein will be stimulated and will not have the tendency of breaking down while you are jogging. That is why you see a footballer will first of all carry out simple exercise. You carry out simple exercise by straining your body, making sure that your veins of the muscles are properly okay. You could be okay with that, not necessarily that you must jog or run. And if you have the ability to do more, give yourself like 1 hour or 30 minutes, you jog around, press up.
Okay.
You understand? And it helps the heart. It helps the body system. And apart from that, if you are somebody who could not do that physical exercise, you could do spiritual exercise. You can also do emotional exercise. You could go to serene environment, maybe that same field. You just put your chair there, call your wife or your spouse, your husband, or any of your girlfriend or your boyfriend, sit down there and have champagne together. If you don't have money to buy champagne, get a bottle of Coke, or I said you should avoid gas anyway. Get a bottle of probably water, and then you share together. Look at that. Look at the horizon. Look at that. Look at the skies. You will be happy. It will give you emotional peace. You understand? And you can go stand by the flower. Talk to nature. You can also, observe the wind as it blows, and then you will become
Wow.
fine.
Wow. That's a very wonderful one, Comrade Dan. What about in a situation whereby someone is already old, maybe close to 70 or 80, and he is a BP patient? So, and I believe that such person cannot go to the field to do his exercise there by playing football. So, what the kind of exercise do you want such person should go for?
Diet exercise. Such person could one engage in a kind of two factors activities, like one, balanced diet in the house. Balanced diet could actually make you, you know, look like you have exercised, you have jogged even for 30 minutes. If you have taken balanced diet, you know what I'm talking about. Ensure, yeah, except you don't have the money for balanced diet. If you don't have the money for balanced diet, go in the morning and take warm water, liquid warm water. That is one. Then two, emotional aspect. Have creative and positive memories. Positive memories. When I talk about positive memories, you are 80s. You are in the 80s or in the 70s. You should have one or two or three positive memories behind you.
Sweet
Like,
memories.
sweet memories, like when you met your first love, like when you got your first job, like when you were actually active in the line of duty. If you were a military man, you could have some positive, memories to think about. It will give you joy. You see, naturally, you will begin to smile. You begin to smile over such positive memories. But when you engage yourself in negative memories, like thinking about, why am I old like this, I can't move, and you will stress yourself. You
Yeah.
will have more tension, more BP. You understand?
Yeah.
And if you are actually old, and your children could give you sweet memories. When you look at, even that child is stubborn, you could look at that child and say, I was once like you. Because you are studying the replica of yourself.
Yeah.
And whether be a female or a male child,
Yeah.
you can get some fantastic memory from what that child is doing. You will begin to think well, and then I think it will keep you in a state of amusement. You understand?
Yeah.
And a smile and laughter could come out of you. You will be stress-free.
Okay.
You can even live longer than the 80.
And you can also visit some fun-filled areas, like maybe going to the club once in a while. I think adults have their own kind of club too. I know about that.
In our society,
Yeah.
especially in Nigeria, except places like Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and places where the social kind of social knowledge is inclined, and most of our elders are in the village. They're in the villages and forgotten. Most people tend to forget their parents in the village at old age, and it's also a factor that fights against their happiness. It gives them emotional pains and could even make them have what we call high blood pressure. But in a situation where an elderly person tends to have what we call a serene environment and have less thinking over his problem from emanating from his children, he tends to live longer and have less thinking about blood pressure.
Okay, so for myself, I think if you have high blood pressure, there are so many other things to do to make yourself happy. I think apart from the one we have listed so far, we have Ludo game, we have snooker, we have table tennis. Which other one do we have again that you can easily do to make yourself happy? Like you said, if, unlike me, I will advise a BP patient that when stress is too much for you in an environment, the best thing you can do is just to walk away and push yourself to an environment where you can be happy.
Of course, a BP patient should endeavor to...
I don't think eating of balanced diet, taking good water daily, and some other exercise are the only solution to high blood pressure. But to me, I just believe no matter the level of the high blood pressure, all you need to do is to make yourself happy. Let the past go. Apart from eating of good food, taking good water, and exercising yourself, what other factors do we have that can help a high blood patient person?
Yeah, like I said, a good thinking faculty about memories, things that has to do with your emotions. You have to be less tense when it comes to emotion, and don't let the issue of emotional pains gives you trauma. If you are not a person that have the tenacity to overcome trauma, you should avoid persons or individuals who could make you have such. That is number one. You stay away from people that could make your heart tense. And again, don't forget the factor of going to a serene environment to think positively, to look at the nature and the horizon and so on. Always try to make yourself happy. Happiness is a choice. It is not a kind of factor per se. It is a choice, and if you make a good choice to be happy, regardless of any kind of affiliation that you have, whether your husband, your wife, or your religion, or your society, or your job status, or whatever, you can choose to be happy over anything. And it comes to the issue of faith. Faith comes in, faith towards God, faith towards Allah, faith towards whatever you are worshiping, you understand? And when you have strengthened that faith in such a way that you cannot be induced, or you cannot be forced to be to have hypertension, you could overcome stresses that will lead to what we call hypertension. Remember, it is not a spiritual factor, it is a physical factor. And it is also a medical factor. So you can deal and address it from medical perspective and physical perspective.
That's a very wonderful one from Comrade Dan. Nice having you. But if you ask me, I think apart from those things we have said, although some people will tell you, I believe in God, but then I know God is in heaven and He protects us and give us healing. But then there is another adage that said, faith without work is dead. So if you believe in God for a miracle, then you need to do the primary aspect of it by eating your balanced diet, going for exercise, and doing some other necessary things you need to do as a person. In case if you are a high blood pressure person, you go for exercise. If you're a woman, you look for your kind of game you go for. If you're a man, you look for your kind of game. I think men do go for Ludo and snooker, table tennis, and so many other games around them. So I will advise you, keep praying for God for healing, and also do the one you can do. Help yourself. Eat good food. Let the past go. Work on your present. Make yourself happy. And that will make you live long. And it will also help you to kill stress.
And above all, have a nice, laughing section.
We have come to the end of today's episode on Reality and You, and we have also come to the end of today's focus, which is laughter as a remedy to high blood pressure. This is coming from Television Nigerian to you. Thanks for staying with us. Reality and You. I'm Hetty Justus. Bye for now.